Welcome to Mr. Podcast with Claude.
And Justin.
We're back with our Watchmen series podcast show thing
Commentary.
commentary. Feel free to rearrange those words any way you choose to your liking. We're talking about episode 105, Little Fear of Lightning, which I don't know why that was the title of this episode, from what I remember.
Me
But I will tell you
either.
this: I fell asleep watching this episode.
Oh
I was
my.
very tired,
Fair enough.
and I probably maybe only missed 5 minutes. But there was a period of time that was a lull, and I decided to go to sleep, and then I woke up and
hmm
continued watching. So maybe that's when the lightning happened, and I missed it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't remember the big lightning
Yeah, and
scene in the middle?
someone had a little fear of it, not a
Yeah.
lot of fear.
No, no. It was like I'm just a little afraid.
A little afraid. Yeah, overall my impression, with the caveat I did fall asleep, was this was my least favorite episode of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say it was bad, but just out of all the great episodes, this ranks at the bottom to me. Um, and I only remember a couple of the big things that happened. Yeah, definitely some reveals about, oh, I'm really doing this and I'm really doing
Oh
that.
yeah, we got to talk about the
Oh,
senator and his
oh,
secret
Senator.
schemes and what that means. Because I got confused as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I agree. I think last week was the first like normal episode, but this one was, I mean, you can put this on the list for like shit Damon does is like character centric episodes.
Yeah.
So, this was like looking glass centric, I guess. Um and I think like that's just a little bit of a problem. Part of why
Mm-hmm.
the episode is maybe not as good as some of the others. Like I think the last week's was more like normal, but I think this one maybe was just a little less interesting. However, yeah, it did have some interesting reveals, but I do wonder, yeah, like how much this matters. It kind of reminds me of the like what's his name, Matt from Leftovers, like episodes where they're just like they do their own thing and they're kind of like
Mm-hmm.
separate from the main story, and they just like take a pause in the middle of the season to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I mean, it
Yeah.
connects to some things, but it also feels like it's telling this other story about his own like personal thing with,
Yeah.
this like trauma from the squid attack, the psychic blast or whatever that I still don't understand, honestly.
Yep.
Like I like what the fuck that means,
Yep.
but anyway, like that happened, and like so now he's like wearing this like, tinfoil hat, and that's why has the reflective mask, and so it's like
Reflectine, please.
reflectantine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a fancy version of that, like, you
Reflectine
know,
TM, please. It's
whole
registered trademark.
idea. Um, I will say, like, honestly, I'm not the kind of person that likes to be like vindicated or correct or whatever. And to be fair, like, it's not like I called everything that happened, but I will say that this did confirm what I thought about the cavalry, which is that like they weren't really important per se, because this reveals that what the cavalry is doing is just being manipulated. Like they don't even
Uh,
they don't
it's
even
I
realize why they're doing what
hmm.
they're doing.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I thought the opposite. I thought this, not that it didn't go against what you thought, but more so that I was vindicated in that I
Who was
thought that
vindicated?
I think we were both vindicated, dual vindication. But because my whole thing from last time was that I thought that they would be planning some big attack that we'd see later in the season, and I
And that
thought
is
that
true.
that came true. That
Yeah.
clearly they're working on something. So that's yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, that's here it is. Here's the big thing that they're doing, which makes sense because obviously they, the watch batteries and the stuff
hmm
that they were doing before,
Yeah.
seems like they were planning something. But
You
but
get
that's the
enough watch
thing, like
batteries together, you can open a portal to another
it's
dimension.
yeah, with enough time and watch batteries. You can open up a portal anywhere. If you the thing that's not clear though is, I mean, yeah, the senator did say he's in control of the cavalry, but it doesn't mean that they won't commit some heinous act. It just means they will do it in a confined way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Okay, I guess, like, you could. Okay, could go two ways with this. One way is I was wrong. I don't want to go that way, so I'm going to go this other way, which is uh, I to refine what I was thinking, which is not that like nothing they do will matter,
Mm-hmm.
but that they per se don't matter. Like they are an instrument of the plot. Like, you know what I mean? So like the cavalry as the cavalry isn't really important.
Well,
What's
that's easy
important
money.
is
I mean, that's like the others.
the outside forces.
That's,
Yeah,
I
exactly. They're
mean,
just like that. They're
they're
just like
never
the
in
others.
control. Groups
Yeah.
of people are never in control on Damon Lindelof shows. You know what I mean? They don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
They're
No, they just
always
do
being
stuff.
manipulated by someone else for their own ends. Yeah,
It's
that's a
so
safe
true.
bet. That's a
It's so
safe bet.
true. Yeah, Guilty Remnant were like that.
Guilty remnant. Oh, they don't even know why they're guilty. Yeah, it's
No
Meg
one
comes in.
explains it.
Yeah, Meg comes in and changes everything. I
Yep.
mean, it just like it's so weird. I don't know what he says about groupthink, but like clearly it doesn't, like he's got this thing about how like no one in a group knows what they're doing.
Right. They just
which
like go
leads
along
them
with the crowd.
which leads them to be easy manipulated when a
Yep.
charismatic leader comes in and says, "Hey,
Exactly.
how about we do this instead?" They're like, "Cool, we don't have an agenda
Okay.
of our own, so yeah."
Yeah. I just, like they were presented as these primary antagonists, but it really seems to me like they're just a tool of these other forces who are really the
Yeah,
ones that are like controlling the conflict.
yeah, yep.
So that's what I'm retreating to. I'm
Okay,
not saying they won't do anything. Clearly, like they're gonna do something.
yeah.
No doubt.
So your previous statement was we'll never see the cavalry again, and now you're to okay. I
you
get
you could say I'm walking it back,
you.
but I like to say that I'm just refining my point of view.
Wow, it sounds like you are a witness called to the impeachment inquiry. And you've refreshed your recollection now that you've heard other testimony. Is that what you're saying?
It might be.
Yeah, you're very
It might be.
political right now. Wow, you're like Did you get some foreign interference with this new theory of yours? Is there any quid pro quo?
Ah, no quid pro
No quid
quo.
pro quo. Okay, all right. Well, as long as you say it, then it's
That's
not a
all
quid
you have to
pro quo.
say.
You just got to say it loudly. No collusion, no conspiracy. Um,
Yeah, okay. So the other thing that I feel like slightly vindicated about, again, I
okay,
don't want to
vindication
celebrate too
number
much
two. Okay,
because
well, I'll
like
take you down a peg. It's fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like I didn't really call this per se, but I was on the podcast suspicious of the senator. I thought there was something more going
Yes.
on. I was suspicious of the cavalry breaking into the funeral and
Yep.
how that looked. Like that just seemed
Yep.
really bizarre to me.
Well,
And
and
so,
that was the way they squared that, right? Was that the cavalry don't know he's on their side, so it was that both
right,
and thing,
yeah,
where he's, and yeah, I actually want to talk about that with the reveals, and it goes back to the reveal of Louis Gossett Jr. being her grandfather. So there's so we talk about the Lindelof shuffle, right? Like this sort of Damon Lindelof writing trick. And so another one that I think we should name because I think it's pretty accurate or pretty well defined. I mean, and his writing style, particularly with these two characters of the senator and what was his name, Will, right?
yeah.
Um, is basically, I think the formula is, and this is a character that's going to have a reveal about who they really are, right?
Hmm.
So basically what you do is you introduce the audience to them and you put them in a situation where they seem completely the opposite of where they're going to end up. So
Right.
when Sister Knight first meets Will, it's outside of her shop, and they
Mhm.
seem to be complete strangers. What's
Right.
the opposite of being a complete stranger?
Being directly related. Yeah.
Being directly related.
Yeah.
So then you take the senator, right? He is basically introduced as like the anti-cavalry senator.
Right. Of
What's the
course.
what's the opposite of that?
Running the cavalry.
And it's so easy and simple, right? It's like the most basic form of reveal or reversal, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
just sitting right in front of our faces the entire time,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of I think what we should look for when we are suspicious of a character or we suspect a reversal or reveal about their identity is like how were they first introduced and what's the opposite of that?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
Henry
It's a good
Gale,
point.
right?
Mhm.
Henry Gale on Lost.
Right.
What's the opposite of being the leader of the others? Someone who has no idea what's going on the island.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who just crashed there in a balloon?
I just got here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who you people are.
What are you doing to me?
I
Uh,
found a baby in the
as a baby.
and there was a
I wrote a letter to my
note.
wife. I'm in a hot air balloon. What do you want from me? Um. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting thing. I felt bad that I didn't call the senator being the leader of the cavalry. I thought that as soon as it happened, I was like, ah, it's obvious.
Mm-hmm. I thought the
And
same thing.
yeah, it's almost like
Because I knew
too
something was up, but I
obvious.
didn't take it
Like
that
I wish
far.
there was more nuance to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it goes back. But it was also nice that it dovetailed into the explanation of Judd, right?
Okay,
This
yes.
idea
This is what we
that
gotta address. This is the thing I'm confused
yeah,
about.
yeah. So the idea that what was the reveal?
Yeah.
I
Good.
fell
Yeah.
asleep.
Yeah. Oh, is that the part you fell asleep on?
No, I don't. No, I didn't fall asleep at the way.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah. So basically, the idea was that in order to control these groups, Judd and the senator basically took control and was like sort of pretending to be on their side in some way, but was really just keeping them in check.
Right. Okay. So that was where I got confused, right? And I had to go look at the transcript, and we're gonna watch it again, and
Read the transcript.
what's it? Total
It was
exoneration.
a perfect call.
God. Um. Yeah, so I had to go look it up because, like, when it happened, I was like, "Wait, does that explain the clan robe? Like, does it?" Because, like, so when I read it, it came across to me like what the senator was saying was that the chief, was was manipulating the police on the other side of the cavalry. So, like, basically they were controlling both sides of the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
the chief was controlling the police, the senator was controlling the cavalry, and together, like, they maintained, the whatever, like, the peace or something.
Yeah.
Like, that was the idea of what he was saying. Okay. But, like, does that explain the clan robe though? Like, I don't think it does, at least not clearly to me. Like, how does that explain the clan robe,
I don't
if it
think it explains
does?
the clan robe.
Okay, good. Because, like, I was waiting. I felt like that was the time when, like, maybe we would get an answer about the clan robe, because it's like, oh shit, like, presumably. Okay, so here's what it might explain, though. Maybe it explains the White Knight
Uh
and,
huh.
like, why Angela survives and why, the chief is there when she wakes up, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah.
he, like, knew about it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
maybe he was able to get them to, spare
Yeah.
certain people or something like that.
Sure.
I'll throw that out as, like, a
Yeah.
potential explanation for, like, what happened there, because it's weird. Like, there's a gun on her, and then suddenly she just wakes up in the hospital. It's like,
Yeah. Exactly.
what the fuck? That's, like, that seems suspicious to me. And the fact that he knew, presumably, that, the senator was controlling the cavalry, like, that just means, like, what I thought was going on in the early part of the show is completely different now. Because to me,
Mm-hmm.
it looked like, transparently, like he was trying to fight the cavalry, but if he knew, I mean, fighting them is part of playing the role, but,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Exactly.
on a level, like, he's playing the part. He's not just, like, going all in to war.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's partially an act. So
Well,
I feel like that should connect to the clan row, but I
are you
can't make it work.
saying he was wearing a mask?
I might be saying that.
The same way the senator wears a mask when he's with the
Oh
cavalry.
no. The mask is a metaphor, John.
Oh, you need me to set a magic box that gives me everything I want? Oh, that's no fun.
You
Yeah,
know what? I just
yeah.
realized, like, sorry, this is like way off topic, but I'm just gonna throw this in because otherwise I may never say this. And I have to say this in public. I don't know
No
if we
quid pro
said this
quo.
before, but oh god. I don't know if we said this before, but like I was thinking about Lost and I feel like we probably have, but I just want to throw out like in the Swan Station. That's right. Here we are. Uh you remember the orientation film in the Swan Station, you
Never
know?
seen it.
Do you we should check it out. It's pretty good. So it's on film, like for real film. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
have to like get a
yeah.
projector out,
There
put
are
the
pieces missing.
there are pieces missing. Yeah, and like they were in a book, and like Radzinski did that or some shit. I don't know. It never made any sense. But okay, my point is, it was on film, right?
Yeah.
Every other orientation film that we saw was on a like VHS tape. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where they just put, including notably the Orchid, which we know was built before the Swan was. So
Yeah.
explain that, Damon. 10 years later,
Yeah, wow, kaboom. You just blew up
I
every.
gotcha.
Yeah, they'll talk about an implosion on the island. I
I just
think,
realized that made no sense to me because I was thinking like, oh well, if it was earlier, then maybe they just like use the later technology. But the Swan
well,
definitely is after the
they
Orchid,
had it on film originally, and they converted it to VHS.
and they just never got around to doing that for the Swan.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
case closed. What do you
Case
want?
closed. All
Um,
right. I
but
know it
are
doesn't
you?
really matter. I just wanted to say it because I'm like, I think that's a little continuity error. Very small one.
Yeah, well, and obviously I think, yeah, it's a continuity error. I think it is fair. It's a fair criticism. I think the contrivance is that they they needed the orientation film to be on film
Mm-hmm.
because they were going to have a piece missing, and
Right.
you can't view VHS tapes by looking through light, you know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and a piece missing, you can't just splice it in and it just works normally. It
Right.
kind of it,
Right.
but it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
And So I think that's it. It's more like they created a problem for themselves by needing it to be on film to start with.
Right. Right.
And then they wanted the ease of it just being a VHS tape you pop in later.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. So like fast forward
and they
past all that
probably
part.
hadn't written yet maybe that the Orchid was built first
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
by
They
that.
definitely didn't in season
Yeah.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
So
It's
but
true.
that's, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also
Yeah. It just hit
also
me.
time travel.
Also, hey, watch out. That's a fair point. You're right.
Someone moved the island but did it wrong. They traveled 5 years in the future and got a VHS tape off the island, and then brought it back and fixed the donkey wheel and got back to the 70s and then recorded it. I mean, it's really simple.
Okay. That was all off screen, but
Well,
that's fine.
unfortunately, we're gonna have to edit this conversation out because this isn't the Lost Lowdown. But we'll splice that out of this podcast and put it into a Lost Lowdown.
I know. I just it's gonna be a little while before we get back to Law, so I just like it was floating in my head, and it's at least Damon related, so
Yeah.
there's a slight connection there.
You should go on his Instagram and tell him he's an asshole for doing that and see what he says.
I'm sure he would take that really well. He's
Yeah.
definitely not been called an asshole on the internet enough.
Nah, nah. He'd love that. Yes, good point.
Another round of therapy. Yeah, no, I know it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to like get it down on a recording so that if I never mention it again, at least I said it somewhere.
Yep.
Okay, we can go back to Watchmen now.
All right. So yeah, I don't think the explanation from the senator explains the clan robe
Right.
exactly. I
But you
think
know what
that
it might partially explain is Will's thing about there's this grand conspiracy, and if I told you about it, it would blow your mind or whatever.
it could. I don't think that's the grand conspiracy because
I
that's
don't
not
think
that
that's all of
crazy.
it. Clearly, Lady True's part of that too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it might be an aspect.
Now, what's interesting is Wade got information about a grand conspiracy from the
Right.
past.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if there is something else happening on that level. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing that's interesting is this whole thing that's happening with Ozymandias, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this whole false reality holodeck simulation. And so a
Right.
grand conspiracy that would blow your mind could be if Tulsa doesn't even exist or something, or if
Oh,
like
okay.
Tulsa's on Mars.
Right,
It could be
right.
that like uh that Dark City thing where it's like, when's the last time you saw the sun, or like the 13th floor, when they drive out past the furthest place you can go on the highway, and reach the edge of, spoiler, reach the edge of reality.
The
So
main
it could
reason
be.
why I don't think Tulsa doesn't exist is because Silk Spectre flew in there
Yeah, but
from
where
the
does she fly
outside.
from?
Oh, you're saying DC doesn't exist either? Or wherever she
Hey,
was?
nothing
Somewhere on the
exists.
East Coast. Wherever like the FBI headquarters is.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's exactly Tulsa specifically, but that's the only thing I could think that would be a grand conspiracy that would blow somebody's mind, is if like
Mm-hmm.
it has to do with like the nature of reality,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yeah,
since they're
yeah. No,
already
I agree.
playing with those ideas, it could be that whatever, presumably Dr. Manhattan is the one who created the reality where Ozymandias is, right? Like if
It
that
looks
was like
that way, yeah.
a test bed or something, and
Yeah.
he's trying to create something bigger. Maybe he thinks that'll solve some problem of humanity. Maybe Earth isn't even the real Earth,
Oh
and
God.
maybe that's why the squids are happening.
Oh
You
yeah, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got confused about that too. I
know?
so
Hmm.
so okay, like we get this video where Ozymandias is like, I did this thing and I did that thing
Hmm.
and but it was really this and secretly it was actually
Is he Austin Powers, or
not.
I'm not Austin Powers? Doctor Evil.
Yeah, I feel like
I mean,
sometimes like
he is kind of Doctor Evil.
he is definitely Doctor Evil. I feel like sometimes my Jeremy Irons impression sounds like Bane, but like
It's
it's hard for me
close.
to do that voice.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's all like, they thought that it was a squid from another dimension, but I made it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time he says, and I had to look this up in the transcript too. Read the transcript. It says that, I had to set up these like extra dimensional whatevers. Like it seemed like he was referring to the squid rain, like if the squid really do come from another, then it is, I'm just confused.
Well, what
Like,
was weird to me, the thing that confused me similarly, is the idea that like there's several parts, right? The squid didn't. I think what's clear is the squid didn't attack on its own volition. It didn't just appear in New York because it's trying to hurt us, right?
right?
He brought the squid there. Now
Yeah.
the qualities that I don't understand afterwards are, did he engineer the psionic attack as well, or did the squid actually have that power, or
I'm not clear
was
on
that
that part either.
a
Yeah.
repercussion of the interdimensional travel, right? Like when it
Right.
popped in here,
See,
reality
I
was
thought he was saying
bust.
there was no interdimensional travel. I got confused by that.
Well, how, that, yeah, that's what's weird to me, is I don't understand if he's saying, like, I engineered a giant squid and then I teleported it from one place on Earth to another place on Earth,
Hmm.
or is there another reality, another dimension where a giant squid exists? It would have never come to New York if it were not for me, and then I brought it here, and then in bringing it here created this psionic burst, or I engineered a psionic burst, which is a separate thing I did to coincide and make it scarier, right? psionic blast, whatever it was, right? Like so, yeah, and then the third thing would be the residual squid rain that happens. So why is that happening? Since he doesn't seem like he's in control of that, right? It makes me think there's a dimension where squids exist, and he brought the big squid from there, and it's almost like the donkey wheel where he didn't like close the door right. He didn't close the door all the way or something, or put it back on its axis the right way, and so therefore periodically we get these squid rains because of the thing he engineered the first time. That's kind of how I think about it, but I agree it's not clear at all.
Okay, so here's the line. I'm just gonna read it and then
You're
explain
gonna
why
read
I'm
the
confused.
transcript.
Yeah, I'm just gonna read the line from the transcript.
Will
So
you
he
do
says,
me a squid though?
he,
Yes, President Zelensky, but will you do me a squid though? A squid pro quo? There it is.
"Yep."
I've been trying to get there. I knew it would happen. I knew it would happen.
That was such a weird, like, because they can't have known. I feel like when this was filmed, that
Yeah,
like quid pro quo would be in the news. It's such a
yeah,
weird coincidence.
yeah.
Okay, so he says, in 24 hours' time, an extra dimensional monster will materialize in Manhattan, unleashing a psychic blast that kills half the city's population and traumatizes millions more. Okay, one line. Then he says, yet the monster will not have come from another dimension at all. It will have come from me. A hoax. Blah, 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 to save the world. Then he says, the world will need time to heal. And of course, I'll have to maintain the peace with additional small scale, extra dimensional events.
There we
So
go.
I'm just confused by that. Like the first thing he says is it didn't come from another dimension, and then he's like it feels like Lost now, where it's like, okay, so the big squid didn't come from another dimension, but the little ones did.
No, I think he's saying it that it came from an extra dimension, but because it came by his action, not the squid's action. I think that's the nuance there.
It said it will not have come from another dimension at all. Like that, I don't know. Is that line just like poorly worded? Like it
It
really sounds like he's saying it didn't come from another dimension. I mean, literally.
I mean, yeah, but okay. Read the first line again.
All right, in 24 hours' time, an extra dimensional monster will materialize in Manhattan, unleashing a psychic blast that kills half the city's population and traumatizes millions more.
Mm-hmm.
Yet the monster will not have come from another dimension at all. It will have come from me.
Yeah, I think it's just a weird phrasing where he's saying I created the monster. I don't know, man. I don't know what the
You
answer
see what I mean,
is.
though,
I
right?
definitely see
Like,
what you mean,
that's all I'm saying. Like,
but
it's just
I
weird.
think I don't think I don't think I think the squid is too big to have not come from some other dimension. Now he could have engineered. He could have taken some Earth squid in the ocean and engineered it to be gigantic in the ocean somewhere, and then did some teleportation trick, right? Because they have teleporters, right?
Right, right.
And teleported it to New York. Now maybe that's what he's saying, but the fact that there's the squid rain, which seems to be interdimensional, I don't know how else you could get in, because you'd have to have some type of larger scale. I mean, I don't know, maybe the same scale as the squid, but the idea of thousands and thousands and thousands of tiny squids raining from the sky seems like, I don't want to say a bigger feat than the main squid because that was huge. But like it just seems like a different type of thing, unless there's and the fact that they don't seem like real normal Earth squids because they dissolve
Right.
so quickly makes me think there is a dimension of squid monsters.
Well, it definitely seems like he's saying the small squids are from another dimension.
Yeah,
That's
so
what's
which
just weird to
yeah, so I
me.
think he's saying that I am the one who brought the squid, the giant squid from the other dimension. It didn't come by itself to New York. I brought it, I think is what he's saying.
Okay.
It sounds like he's saying it didn't come from another dimension, but I think he's saying in terms of its own actions. Like it didn't it didn't come here by some force, right?
Yeah.
It's not attacking our planet.
So
I
is this
brought it
like one
here.
of those like he said you're next like
Yep.
thing where like
Yep.
it's like
Yep. Classic. Yep.
it's like wrong, but like they had to word it that way because of the context or something. It's like one of those weird
I
lines.
I think that that's a better explanation than to say that a giant squid didn't come from another dimension, but the tiny ones do.
It makes no sense. I agree. That's why I was
Now,
confused. I agree with you.
the only way you could tie those together is to say there is another dimension with tiny that only has tiny squids. I somehow found it. I found a
Right.
dimension with tiny squids, and I decided to take a tiny squid from that dimension, bring it to Earth, and make it huge, and then teleport it to New York. That's super convoluted.
Yes, it is. And I don't know what we're supposed to believe
But
about that.
everything about him is convoluted, so
Very true.
it's fitting. Yeah, I it's a weird thing when you can't just normally analyze human language to understand someone's intent. It's really weird, and it's a classic Lindelof
I
thing.
know, I know. I feel like I'm back in
Yeah,
the lost days where it's
I
like,
do want to now give Lindelof credit and hold Carlton harmless for every undecipherable line of dialogue on Lost.
yeah, no, I
Because
agree.
I feel like Bates Motel. I bet every line on Bates Motel you understand. I bet every line. You know what I mean? The Colony. I bet every line on The Colony you get because those are Carlton Cuse shows, and he's real direct and he makes sense. Um,
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that. Like, I do feel like the relationship between Damon and Carlton might be like somewhat similar to Mark Frost and David Lynch, where
yeah.
there's like where like Carlton can like do the sort of standard things you need to make a TV show work, and maybe helps like glue the thing together or think in like macro terms or something.
Yeah.
And the things that make it like really distinctive, also frustrating, but kind of
Hmm.
weird and interesting, are Damon's things. That's definitely how it seems from watching these other shows.
Yeah.
I would
I
have
think
to
if you,
watch, like you
yeah,
said, Base Motel or like The Colony or something to like be 100%
yeah,
clear, I guess, on like what Carlton's style is, because they didn't work separately on Lost, so it's hard to know. But that's how it seems to me.
I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. That's how it comes off to me.
Because yeah, we're definitely like
So
right back in that world now, where it's
yeah,
like,
so
oh
I
Jesus.
think yeah, I don't know how to take the whole and I don't even know the larger context of what happened in the scene with Wade and the senator's like, I'll get rid of your fear, just watch this video. And I mean it was again so classic where at the end of the show Wade watches the video and again goes back to Lost, right? Where a video helps decide
Mm-hmm.
your take on a supernatural event, right? It's like
Yep.
yeah, orientation
The
film, whatever.
orientation videos, yeah,
Yeah,
it really
it's like,
is.
oh, I think we should press the button. Well, I think we shouldn't. And it's that, and he did come off like Marvin Candle in that
Yep.
video. And but that whole thing of like, you know, he seems completely convinced that it was a hoax and he shouldn't be afraid, right? So when he gets home and he sees the EDS machine, right, the alarm system, whatever, he's like, I'm going to throw this away because I was just 100% convinced I don't need it. But then he comes back and he takes it. And then the audience is left to go, huh? Like, is he convinced or not convinced?
Right.
So that was weird. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know what I mean. I guess that was supposed to be the idea of it. So he was. I guess maybe it was just relegated to like the small idea that he doesn't have to fear future attacks because it
Right.
wasn't something that just spontaneously happened. It was
Yeah.
engineered.
Yeah. I think that was supposed to be the idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
it's it's not something that's just gonna randomly happen.
Mm-hmm.
If it happened again, it would be because someone like made it happen.
I did like the reveal that of why he wears the reflectitine and that it's called reflectitine,
Mm-hmm.
and that he um what was I gonna say that that's his chosen form of mask,
Right.
versus the other people having other things. The fact that he was actually in New York and has this fear,
Right.
um I thought
Yeah,
that
it's
was a
kind of like
nice
an
way
origin
to,
story.
yeah, I thought that was a nice way to put it, of why he has that particular thing. And that's the thing about, like, goes back to what Blake said, Agent Blake said, about why people wear masks to hide the pain or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, Batman, his costume is very specific to his initial trauma, right? And so
Right.
it's the same for all these people. Like, they just, they're what they, it's not arbitrary, except for maybe Panda. I don't know why he's a
Oh
bear,
God, yeah, we gotta get
but
a panda
why he's a
story.
dirty bear. It's like, clean your costume, dude.
Seriously.
I mean, maybe it wouldn't fit in a washer, but
Yeah, but that's
dry clean it or something.
yeah, or like pick a different costume if it's
Or
so
buy it, yeah, buy a new
impractical.
one. Yeah, yeah,
You
buy
can't
it.
clean it.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, hey, you want to get into the episode?
let's do it. Yeah.
Cool. I can't wait to see
I'm
the
ready.
part I fell asleep on. I know it had to do with Paula Malcolmson, who I love, and I was
Oh,
so happy she was on the show.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Nice familiar face from Lost and Deadwood and many other shows.
Yeah.
All right, so shall we?
Caprica,
What?
Caprica,
Caprica? Oh yeah, I forgot she was in Caprica. Hell yeah, absolutely.
Caprica.
Classic show that fucking
Almost
died.
was. Yeah.
So close.
So
So
close,
close.
guys. All right, let's do it.
All right.
All right, everybody, get your streamers ready if you're going to sync up with us for some 105 Little Fear of Lightning. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, play. All right, I'm still on my trailer here.
Oh, you're
Okay,
watching a
Watchmen. There
trailer.
we go.
There's Watchmen. Okay.
This was a nice reveal too, that his developing room was like a bunker, not just his place for do photography.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Here's where the war's at. I ain't leaving till this one.
Yeah, that was the clue about the pills.
I think we guessed that.
We did. I know. You're totally right.
He sounds like the president. Yeah, this was
He has
another
a lot
thing.
of new babies in this episode.
Yeah,
Like
there's some
suddenly.
a time gap,
Yeah.
but it looks like they take about 5 minutes to cook, so it doesn't take
Mm-hmm.
too long.
That's true. Oh, it's Radio Watchmen.
Yep. All right, New Jersey.
Hoboken.
Mm-hmm. So somebody told me that they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
how
think they
obvious
show
that
like
is.
the watchtower or something in one of these shots.
Yeah, that's what they said, and I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. I don't get that reference.
Oh, you don't know the watchtower?
No, what's
It's
that?
just like a Jehovah's Witness magazine little
Oh, okay.
that they like pass out, you know.
As we prepare to enter the horror's den, 1 minute to midnight, on the very
If they ever come to your door or something, they'll
please open
probably
your hearts
have
as
it.
you opened ours.
Gotcha.
In Christ's name, amen.
Yeah, there it is.
There's a panda on the cover.
Oh boy. Wait, does that explain panda somehow?
That explains panda.
TikTok, wait.
The panda look clean though.
Yeah.
It's the 80s, so do some
It's-
slap bass.
You can tell it's the 80s. I wonder what the Vite method is. I didn't get that.
The what?
The Vite method.
Oh, was that on a thing?
It was on the cover of that book the guy was reading.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready to hear the truth?
It's like self-help or something?
Yeah.
You ready to hear the truth? Hello, neighbors. Are you ready
She's
to hear
wearing
the truth?
a crucifix earrings. I'm sure she's saved.
The doomsday clock just moved to 1 minute to midnight. At this very moment, the entire nuclear
Oh, I see.
arsenal of
Watchtower.
our
I
great
didn't catch the
country is
name.
ready to launch at the Russians, and vice versa.
What's up with the pandas?
In the kingdom of heaven, all God's creations live in peace with each.
Can I have your tie?
Leave him alone. Let me mess with him.
Come on. I want to hear more about the panda.
I can do way worse.
Yeah. She's like, I've got to really con him.
Yeah, this should have been like clearly suspicious.
Yeah.
Come on. So where are you from?
Tulsa.
Oklahoma. What are you doing in Jersey?
This reminds me of
This is where the
Us.
sinners
I was
are.
gonna say this is I feel like it's an Us call.
You really
Yeah.
Homage. Not that they
What do you
invented
mean?
Funhouse mirrors.
No,
they
but-
get all the credit now.
Definitely in the zeitgeist for that right
Is
now.
the bomb gonna kill us all?
Yeah.
Yes. I believe it is.
Aren't you afraid?
No, ma'am.
Are you afraid of me?
Careless whisper.
No, ma'am.
Well, what are you afraid of?
Squids. Giant psionic squids.
I hope he knows already that that's what he's afraid of. It's such a great fear to have. Like, and what a nightmare, you know, to like
Yeah.
actually have it happen.
Yeah.
Are you
The whole time this is going on, I'm thinking like, why doesn't someone walk in? Like, is this
Yeah.
is this place like
It
not
just
popular?
for whatever reason, no one else is in here. Yeah.
Like, it's just
Well,
like
because they're filming a scene in here.
they're
No
filming
one-
a scene. Excuse me, we're filming a scene.
Excuse me. There's like PAs outside saying, "Don't come in."
Wait.
It's okay. Just stand there.
I just feel like at the very least, like he should be worried that like someone's gonna walk in,
Please.
Yeah.
and
He
it
should've
doesn't
said
seem like
that.
he's even worried about that.
He could have said that as just an excuse to like, oh
Exactly.
no, don't. Someone might walk in.
Fuck you, Bible boy.
Yeah, I find this kind of thing a weird turn of events because like she seemed nice, she reeled him in, then she's an asshole, but then she gets killed for it basically.
Yeah,
But she also but it's this weird thing where he gets saved because of this deception.
right.
Because he's
That's
sort of
true.
he's inside.
That's true.
You're pathetic.
Oh, the mirror protected him.
Oh, is that?
It's
I
like
thought
the
he was.
reflective team.
You're right. I actually didn't catch that. I thought it was.
I didn't either. It
I
didn't
thought it was
occur to
more
me.
that he was. I thought it was more that he was insulated from just being indoors. But you're
Right.
right. I think it's more about the reflective team.
Yeah. So yeah, fair point.
Mm-hmm,
Maybe she saved him.
Yeah, that's the catch-22 of I think we see in little scenes like that where somebody gets screwed over, but like it's kind of good in some way. We see that
Mhm.
sometimes.
Glad
She didn't
Carol's
take his
Whisper is
sock.
still playing.
She didn't take his socks.
That's good because there's like broken glass
Mhm.
everywhere.
Glass can't cut through socks.
Well, not if they're good socks.
It's resock the team. But anyway, as an opening to an episode, I thought this was really effective and interesting, and like what's
You know what this reminded me of?
Hmm.
Especially when they do this like zoom out and they go to the 70s horror music, which is like my favorite music in the show so far. Is reminding me of The Purge.
Oh, I've
from
never
Lost.
seen that. Oh, from Lost, I've seen
Yeah,
that.
the Dharma Purge.
You with the movie The Purge. Yeah, this is totally like The Purge.
Just this sort of idea.
Yep.
And in general, this also reminded me of The Leftovers.
Large groups of
This whole
people
mass
dying.
event thing.
Yeah. He's got his like 3 things he's interested
Mass
in.
trauma, support groups, like
Yep.
Lost and Leftovers had those. Those are on the list.
Yeah. What happened?
What happened? Here it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that music's great. It feels like Stranger Things because it's in the 80s
Yeah.
and has that music.
Definitely.
Oh, 11.
What did you do this time?
You're so plucky. But I thought this was a great shot too anyway, and then like coming in from New Jersey over to Manhattan and then seeing
Yeah.
the whole squid and how insanely huge and crazy it is, and but I do think in the context of it being this engineered false flag thing, it makes kind of sense because it's weird for a squid to just like be here, but it's like dead, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's not like it appeared and then it starts destroying things.
Yeah.
It appeared in this way that wasn't helpful to it.
No, it seems like it was really the psychic blast that hurt everybody. It wasn't the
Yeah.
actual squid.
Yeah.
Like the squid did some damage to
The
those
squid makes it
buildings, but-
crazy.
Yeah.
But like it seems like you could have just had a psychic blast and it would have been bad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I did like that this was his job, his day job or whatever.
Mhm.
I thought that was a specific, unique thing. This, like,
Yeah.
marketing. Look at that guy. I thought that was weird. What's his name from Sopranos? Forgot his name.
Oh, that guy's from
Something
Sopranos?
Italian. Yeah, he was big on the Sopranos.
Okay. Yeah. I thought maybe I recognized that guy.
Yeah, he was younger.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that he actually like does his job for real, seemingly, whereas like
Yeah.
Angela's just has like a fake bakery that's actually a base,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like a little more of just a front.
Well, her husband works, you know.
Fair enough.
He's on one income.
No, they all said they loved it.
You didn't hire me to
I also like this idea that like nobody goes to New York anymore or something.
They told you they loved it because what hot-blooded Oklahoma male is going to admit he's
Like they're trying to get tourism back,
I watched
even
Mhm.
after all this time.
what I saw.
Yeah.
was fear,
People buy things out of fear all the time.
not this kind. Sorry, gentlemen, but all your ad does is remind folks that 3 million people suffered a horrific.
And I was one of them.
inexplicable-
Day you.
It was 30 years ago.
It's a lot of
Everybody's over
syllables.
it. They've moved on.
Well, sir, in my professional opinion, they ain't moving on to New York. I suspect the calamari didn't help.
I won.
I also thought this was sort of an ineffective ruse in terms of keeping a secret identity because it's like someone could see you go in and then come out
Yeah.
as this guy.
Yeah.
It's not that great. Well, I guess it's better than nothing.
Well, later on, he sneaks into the cavalry place without the mask on, and I thought that was crazy.
I thought the whole sneaking in, that whole ruse later, I thought was so ill-conceived and dumb.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. It didn't make any sense that he would do that.
I want units
So I feel like I should have called that this was like a fake set church here.
Well, it's, yeah, but no. I mean, it's very plausible that this was a normal church. I mean, it's
It's
there's
so
no
plausible,
reason-
that's why it has to not be true.
Exactly. That's why you're right. That's
Catholic Church in Dentistry.
when they say look for every church, then we should know it's not going to be a real church. You're right. That's
Yeah.
that's the part we should have called.
Exactly.
This lettuce thing I thought was weird.
Yeah. This reminds me of the Dharma crackers.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
They're just like eating shit from
Yeah.
like the story.
Is that from truck?
If by truck you mean
That's-
the one
this is
filled
like
with
white power
delivered
lettuce.
by a cavalry
Mhm.
member who shot a cop, yes.
Like, how many days ago was this?
I feel like it was like 3 or 4.
That
Because
lettuce
not
would
that
be
it hasn't been
bad.
that many
It
days.
wasn't refrigerated. That lettuce is dead.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing
I
is
agree.
dead.
Like, did he want lettuce that much, or is he just hates waste?
I communicated that.
That cactus is too prominent not to have a
Well, now you
microphone.
can tell. In the scene later, when you know it's mic'd, it's actually really well done because it's a character in the scene.
Mhm.
But now when you look at this, you can tell it's also a character in the scene.
Yeah.
Hey, mirror guy.
Like no one has a. I feel like they change sizes of the cactus too sometimes.
Mhm.
Like the Lord of the Rings special effects trick to make the ring bigger. in some
Right.
shots.
Let's see.
Right.
Like how big that sign is on her desk.
Take the mask
Oh
off.
yeah.
Regs say to keep them on inside the precinct.
Why? We're all on the same side.
The concealment of identity is critical to our
Oh
safety.
my god, it's so big.
It's so huge.
I'm a member of the 7th Cavalry.
No, ma'am.
Then just why don't you roll that baby up and let me see those sad green eyes of yours. So you're from Tulsa.
Close enough. Town called Hugo down by the Texas
Oh
border.
Jesus. You were in New
There's a
York. then,
town
too.
by in the Texas border
New Jersey.
called the border between Oklahoma and Texas. I thought he meant
Mhm.
the border between
You
Texas and
still
Mexico.
scared shitless?
I'm like, that's close enough.
Excuse me.
I've heard that people who are in the psychic blast zone still wake up in the middle of the night screaming.
I sleep.
Because I got reflectatine everywhere.
Cool. I see you joined the force right after the White Knight.
Justice needed to be applied.
Oh, that
And
wasn't even that
before
long
the Warriors
ago.
Put masks on. You had an excuse to
Mhm.
wrap your entire head in reflectatine.
Implying what?
Guaranteed protection from psychic blasts. Ergo, you sleep great. Market research. Is that your cover? So you watch a bunch of idiots and they tell you what they hate about the new flavor of Pringles, and no one knows you're secretly mirror guy?
I know you know it's Looking Glass.
But you can have mirror guy.
She was a little too quippy in this episode, I thought.
Okay. Thanks for
Mhm.
coming by.
That's it.
That's it.
Like I need her to like pull back a little bit sometimes.
Mhm.
Oh shit! Wait, there was one other thing I wanted to ask.
She's playing a mega antagonist role
What
here,
pills?
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's
Sorry.
pushing
Well,
her
I
too
bugged
far.
The cactus on your desk.
Yeah,
the
and
tea
it's-
bar, so
And she's playing an antagonist
tonight
role
is
in a
just
very
asking
flippant
about
way,
some
which is
pills.
hard to
My
do.
practice.
Well, don't take it
It's
personally.
like
Yeah.
I don't really care about this bullshit, but I really need to know this stuff.
So,
Mhm.
It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
what pills?
That's a personal issue between Sister Knight and me. It would be a violation
I'm her
of medical
doctor.
privacy if I divulge it. May I go?
You surely may, mirror guy.
I do want some. I feel like she should be the one to ask him how he breathes in that thing. I just want someone to ask. And he can just say it's porous. That's fine. I just want someone to ask.
Yeah.
You may see a stranger.
A letter to his wife.
You
Okay.
may see a
Mhm.
stranger.
EDS. Oh, look at that. Setting it up.
Uh-oh.
EDS again.
And
Mhm.
somehow you know.
That's interesting. Why is that in a
you
secret
know
safe?
even
Wow, how many of those does he have?
2.
2. Okay. Fair enough.
Why wasn't the hat good enough for at home?
I love this futuristic can opener.
Yeah.
I have no idea, by the way.
So I thought this was an interesting scene to show from this TV show. I didn't.
Yeah, I had to look this up. So apparently this is actually in the comics.
And what's the context here?
This is Hooded Justice, and I forget what the other guy's name is. But they're involved in a relationship in the comics. It's all in flashback, so you don't really see it.
Okay, so this is just a regular consensual relationship.
Yeah,
Okay, I couldn't tell what the actual context was, and
I think so in the books or in the
Okay.
comic. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be consensual.
Wade's reaction made me think he was surprised by what was happening, so I couldn't tell. Like,
Yeah, so I think it is a reveal in the comics that Hooded Justice is gay. I think you don't know
I
that
see.
until
Okay.
a certain point. You know, he was around in like the 40s or something, so like publicly he kept that a secret.
Yeah. Amongst other secrets he had.
Indeed. Yeah, in fact, his identity is never revealed in the comics. That was something else I found out.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what to think about that. But yeah, I was wondering if they showed that.
So there's just a hooded character in the entire run of the comics, and you never find out their true identity?
You don't know who he is, yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
I mean, you know, he was a character in the past, so he isn't really there in like the present of the story.
The present storyline, got it. Okay.
So, yeah. I don't know if that.
This was weird to me. Like the control box. Why isn't the control box in here?
Do it right.
Versus in his bunker versus being in his bedroom.
Right.
Get it?
Goddamn siren shut.
Yeah. Also, like, what happened? Like, I thought maybe like something was there, you know?
No, like this was a drill he was running. Yeah, it's like he's been running drills too often, and so the machine didn't turn off like it was supposed to.
Oh, he ran too many drills.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what
okay.
he's
That
saying
was the
right here.
reveal. Okay. I see.
I don't give two brown turds about the manual. When can you get me a new unit?
Now I don't understand what the drill is for. He runs down here if there's an attack, and he presses a button, and I don't know what's supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part I'm confused about. But
No problem. That's great. Overnight. Do that. And throw in another roll of Reflectatine while you're at
and like, what does a roll get you? Is that how you made your mask out of a roll of it? Like, huh?
I would assume. You just like cut it and I don't know.
And
sew it
then
or
what?
something.
Okay, I guess if there's sewing involved, then I can get it.
That would be my guess.
And then does he sleep here in the bunker and not in his house? I'm just all confused.
Maybe he's just doing it because the security system is down.
Okay. He does seem worried now, so yeah, maybe that's. Why is he looking over there at empty bunkers?
Why do you have a bunk bed if you're gonna sleep on the couch?
Yeah, I assume that's if there were other. Oh, he did have a wife at a certain point.
True. Okay.
Maybe that's what that look was for. It was him and his wife in the bunk bed, maybe?
There used to be two beds.
Yeah, I'm sure she left him because of this obsession that he had.
You think?
It tastes like.
That's like Locke. That's like Locke and Helen.
Yeah, you're right. Ah! Of course
Yep.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Don't tell me what I can't do.
Raise your hand if you like the way.
Here at Forever Pet, we offer the splice of life, taking your beloved animal's unique DNA and making an exact replica so that you never have to say goodbye again. Our patented process only requires
I'm here to see Cynthia Tillman. Oh, Bennett. Sorry, Cynthia Bennett.
Star Trek doors.
Yep.
Howdy yourself.
Got some of your mail at the house.
Damn post office. 3 times I filled out that form.
Naked eye, be honest. Do these dogs look exactly the same?
White Rabbit.
You're right. Oh, God. Can't get away from some things.
Yeah.
Just a little smaller.
Especially when you don't try.
You want her?
What am I gonna do with a dog?
Dog.
That was harsh.
I
She's
know.
Just washing it, right?
Yeah, it's getting
That's
a
the
bath.
dog washer.
Yeah, hat's back. Yeah.
Didn't have time to comb my hair.
Yeah, this is totally
It's okay
Helen.
to admit that you're
Yep.
anxious, Wade.
You're so right. Oh man.
All the time.
I was talking about your chief getting murdered.
The Pales.
I want to know about the pills.
It's nostalgia.
Nostalgia. You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Also, sure,
Also, sure
exposition.
As it turns
Yeah,
out, putting memories
exactly.
into pill form led to psychosis. So I highly
She's gonna
recommend
take
you
them.
tell your
She's gonna take the whole fucking bottle.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah. She wants all the nostalgia she can get.
Did you get them from a lady?
Does
You
he?
have your pick of good dudes.
Yeah, I
You don't
know.
pick
Like,
the
how do you
unexpected ones
know?
that are just
And
gonna kick you in the
really?
balls.
I picked you. You're a good woman.
And for 7 years, I tried to convince you that I wasn't gonna run off with your clothes.
This cutaway
We
was
did-
not
we
necessary.
Did not need that at all.
I remember.
That was
How long
for-
ago was that? That was like 20 minutes ago. Like, come on.
And it didn't even matter, even if you didn't remember that. It wasn't a big
No.
enough line to even cut back to. I thought that was really poor choice.
I agree. Bad editing.
Yeah.
Totally unnecessary.
Yeah, that was really insulting to the audience to think we needed like that.
Yeah, I know.
You don't remember the opening of the episode?
I know. Like, that's just, yeah, seriously. If you don't trust your audience that much, like, you don't
Yeah.
trust them with anything.
Yeah. Maybe just one shot of that second shot that they had where it's just his face in the mirror. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely didn't need the shot of her running away with the clothes.
Yeah.
You know what it's like to be raised by someone who's always just waiting for the next big one.
Existential anxiety. So okay, no, I was still awake at this point. Okay.
All right, so this is like
I read an
such a leftover scene.
There's this thing,
Yeah.
genetic trauma. Basically, if something really bad happens to your parents, it gets locked into their DNA. So when my mom got hit by the blast, even though I wasn't born until 10 years after 11/2,
11/12?
it's like I inherited her pain.
Friend of Nemo's.
Yes, I found him.
Welcome aboard.
I'm glad they're cheeky about their squid support group.
Yeah, it's great.
Anyway, I keep calling EDS.
Like Nemo wasn't a
Always
squid,
end up.
but you know, okay.
I don't want to end up one of those fucking nutters with my head wrapped in their magic tinfoil. One day at a time.
There's another weird shot.
Mm-hmm.
Just sometimes feel like it's never going to end.
Yeah, I don't think it needed that one either.
I was where you are. I thought about that one-eyed fucker all the time, and it terrified me. But I am no longer afraid. On 11/2, the Soviet Union...
It does seem like they're a little confused about, are they upset about the psychic blast, or are they upset about the squid?
They think it's the same. I think they think the squid created the blast.
Yeah. I guess
If
so.
it hadn't arrived when it did, we would all be ash. It united us against a common threat.
He already knows what the point of the conspiracy was, even though he doesn't know the
Of
conspiracy.
course it does.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are all in a tunnel, and every tunnel ends. It ends with light. And if you trust me, I will do my best to show you to it. Hands.
Is he leading this group?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a different one.
We know there are other dimensions than this one.
Man, she
But
looks
this
like
is
an
the
infiltrator.
dimension where we live,
Mm-hmm.
and we will not live in fear.
What was the last line? We know that there's other dimensions in this one, but what?
This is the dimension where we live, and we will not live in fear.
Ah.
Night.
I don't know if anybody told you, but we meet on Tuesdays too, 8 o'clock.
Great.
This is a long con right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she feels like Sawyer.
Yep.
I don't believe you.
Sorry?
There's no light.
Choo-choo tunnel.
You're still in the tunnel. I bet you're just as batshit as the rest of us.
Yeah, this ties into the
That's
wives
good
thing
shit,
about
tunnels.
there's plenty of good women out
Sadly,
there
there's
for
no
you.
way to settle that
Mhm.
So
bit
it's setting
until
that
we can
idea up.
assess your
Yeah.
trauma relative to mine.
Yeah. Even though this is like a
Maybe you can
ruse.
share when you
Yeah.
come back Tuesday.
But yeah, it kind of primes us to
Mm-hmm.
read this scene in a certain
Okay.
way that's kind of
Fair
wrong.
enough.
Yep.
Follow me.
I've seen Jesus play with flames in a lake of fire. I was standing
Like, oh, he'll just find a good woman and settle down.
That's all that's gonna happen.
With his little hatchback car.
Of course they hated it. You can't call a cereal Smiley-O's and not put sugar in it.
Alas, sugar causes tooth decay, hyperactivity, and the big C.
Come on. We used to eat buckets of sugar, and we won Vietnam.
Technically, Dr. Manhattan won Vietnam, but I concede the point.
So if
This
all
is a
kids
weird
say
thing.
it's
Like,
whether
there's
they
no
like the
sugar in cereal
or
these
hate it,
days.
What do they need you for?
Focus
I guess
groups are
not.
rife with bullshit. They need me to determine truth.
You can tell when people are lying.
Indeed, I can.
There's a skill I could have used 2 husbands ago.
So what do you do?
I'm a waitress.
I wonder how he could have asked questions that
Okay.
would have clued him
I
in
work in
that she's
foreclosures.
conning him right
No,
now.
ma'am, you do not.
Because he definitely does not catch on
I'm a radiologist.
until much later.
Indeed, you are.
Good question. I don't know.
So, now that we've established our respective occupations,
Like, have you ever been part of the white supremacist group, the 7th Cavalry?
Yeah.
I guess he has no reason to ask that, but
Yeah.
Is that all you want out of me, Wade? My squid story?
no pressure, but yes.
Well, it's fucking stupid. I mean, you were there on 11/2. I'm gonna be mad when I say it.
I promise I will not.
What did she say?
Horse.
Pale Horse,
Hmm.
the movie.
The movie.
Oh, this is like, oh boy,
It came out in 92.
this is like
Steven Spielberg
the Schindler's List
won like a
thing.
gazillion Oscars.
Right, sure. I haven't seen
Like
it.
some
Well, I've seen
alternate
it
reality
1,000
movie he
times.
made.
At least
Yeah.
that's when I stopped counting. I
And
never
it
forget
has
that
this
movie.
like girl in
It's called
red,
Pale Horse
like,
because
and
that's
it's in
Lady
black and
Gaga was
white,
playing
just like in
Madison Square
Schindler's
Garden when the
List.
squid hit.
Hmm.
Anyway, there's this one scene with this little girl in a red coat. The movie's black and white, so the red really pops, you know? And the girl's stumbling around Herald Square.
Oh, he made a Schindler's List movie about the squid
Feel
attack.
all the
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
context.
And she's scared. And she's calling out for a mom.
But did he also do Schindler's List?
Seemingly no. It would be
Okay.
weird to do like the
Yeah.
same movie within
I
a
mean, I know it's
year with the
stupid.
same trick.
Being obsessed with
Gotcha.
a
Oh,
movie,
at the
but
same time. Okay.
watching it just
Yeah.
makes me feel better.
Yeah, that's right around when Schindler's List came out.
Face your fears.
So yeah, I feel like what they're saying is because of what happened in the world, he made that movie instead of Schindler's
That was a
List.
bigger deal to make a movie about.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, there's a squid fall. And people just pull their cars over and turn their wipers on like aliens aren't falling from the fucking sky? Why isn't everybody petrified? The only time I'm not losing my mind is when I'm watching that film or fucking.
What?
You know, fucking. drunk. I'm gonna call a friend for a ride home.
I can take you home.
You are all so drunk. Cute, but drunk.
Yeah, I guess he's off his lie detector game pretty quickly here with the whole drinking.
That's what I was thinking. I guess like he's drunk. He wants to believe. I guess there's like various things that are making it not work. But yeah, I kind of forgot that he like reads people literally for a living.
Yep.
So what you got to do is con a con man.
Oh, tobacco's illegal now?
Where'd you get it?
Oh, I forgot about that. They dropped
Used
that
my
in.
last quarter calling the cab. It does smell awful good.
Does it?
Smells like deception. So yeah, I was asleep by this point.
Okay, this was the lull.
Yeah, this was the lull.
You were right. I'm not out of the tunnel.
At least we're in it together.
There's my lettuce truck.
Let us talk about this later. Now, I did kind of wake up when the lettuce fell off the truck, and I thought that looked fake.
Yeah, that was the
sleep.
That was the big plot point.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was like, that's dumb.
Yeah. And of course it was a setup, so
yeah,
it was fake.
Well, what's interesting about this is why did she want him to do this? To like think she was involved with the bad guys instead of luring him in some nicer way, which she's spent all the time doing.
Right.
You know? So that's kind of what's weird.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the red herring, right? Is we think it's all nice and now we think it's bad.
Right.
But like she could have just lured him in the nice way and then said, "Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
here's our plot."
It's a double switch. I feel like that would be the more normal con.
Yeah.
Instead of like, no, I'll make you think that like you secretly figured me out, but really that's what I want you to do.
Yeah, which is like, why go through that trouble?
Yeah, I agree. It's a bit much.
Yeah, it just didn't feel real. Did it feel real when you watched this? Like, were you bought into this?
I did believe it. Yeah.
Okay.
I did believe it.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I woke up about this. I literally was asleep for 2 minutes. But yeah, I thought like when he gets the gun, I was like, dude, that gun ain't real. And I was like, why doesn't he have his own gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good call. Like, that it's just like left there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I was like following along. I was being a normal viewer, just following along, like, okay, I want to see, like, you know, what's going on here? Like, what are the cavalry up to? Blah, blah, blah. Basic level. I'm, you know, engaged.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the switch up that they do. And I was really surprised with the interdimensional thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, this too. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I want to see if there's a different editor in this episode.
They're really like super
Yeah.
handholdy.
Yeah, there's something about this where they felt like they needed to do those quick shots. Like
Yeah, like I feel like we can get that. Give us a chance.
we got it. Yeah.
Church. 40 degrees south-southwest.
I was just like, what are you doing walking around without a mask on? Like,
It
This
was
just seemed
super weird.
crazy.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense for everything they set up for his character.
Yeah, after all that,
Why wouldn't he wait for backup? Why wouldn't
it's like,
you know?
yeah, exactly. And it's like, even if you get away, they might see your face if you're just walking around like this.
Well, and then to do this,
This
you
is
don't-
fucking
like 15
crazy.
guys in the room.
Yeah, this
You
is
don't know who
ridiculous.
has what weapons.
And he's like acting nervous. It's just like, this is not a good way to.
Yeah, I guess he's drunk, but still.
Right.
Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Are you opening portals? Are you?
Let's just talk about this.
Answer me, or I will shoot. What the hell is going on here?
What's going on here, Wade, is that I went to a lot of trouble to bring you in. We even rigged the lettuce to fall off the damn truck. But if you're just gonna keep yelling, I'm not gonna be able to tell you why. Can you lower the gun, please?
That guy's bulletproof.
Was it that, or
Jacob wasn't done with it yet?
did the bullets bounce off him?
Walkie too. We boosted your signal.
What is this?
This
Is it the only way?
I think there could have been other ways.
I don't know.
Yeah, they could have just sent him the video, like Mulholland Drive style. I mean, Lost Highway style.
Yeah.
Put it on his front porch.
Yeah. You would have watched that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess having the senator there like gives some credibility, but yeah, this is not the only way.
Well, I don't even understand because, like, she doesn't know what the senator's about to tell him, right? Does she?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess maybe she just doesn't know he's a senator.
Right.
I really am a radio.
Well, you
I
should
love
be.
that line because, like, yeah, it's completely inconsequential. You
Just
did
to
lie
prove
about
he's
everything
not, like,
else.
completely wrong about everything.
Yeah. So I guess the idea is they're gonna do another false flag squid attack or something similar. They're gonna.
That would
use
be
the
my
teleportation.
guess.
Huh?
Yeah.
You put that in all your hats? Gotta protect the great
Okay,
manor
so
from psychic
did
powers,
everybody
man.
else leave the room?
I hear
Yeah.
that stuff does
Okay.
the trick. Is that why you made your mask out of it? The one you wear to work?
I know who
I know
everybody
who you
is.
are, Looking Glass.
Are you even trying to disguise your
Oh.
voice, Senator?
I wasn't even trying to disguise my face.
I'm still wearing my mask. Sorry. That is just incredibly rude. This is just for them.
You're gonna kill me.
What? Wait.
Buddy.
Buddy, why would I kill you?
You're a cop killer.
You mean the White Knight? Come on. I'm not a murderer.
I'll facilitate murder. I don't commit it.
I came down here and assumed leadership of these idiots to prevent that shit from happening again. And my buddy Judd did the same as chief of police. Each of us
See,
managed
when
our
he said
respective
that,
teams so that we could maintain
okay, I don't know. I guess I thought it meant Judd was
Is anything
controlling white supremacists who are part of the police force. I think that's what I thought.
It could mean that,
You don't really care about any of
but
this,
I'm not sure.
Because all you really care about is what you saw us throwing those basketballs into. You know what it was?
It was a CX-924 teleportation window. Just like the one they were playing around with at the Institute for Transdimensional Studies in Herald
don't get
Square
that.
on 11-2.
That is correct.
Is that supposedly what the squid came through?
That's what it seems like it means.
Yeah.
Tulsa. Drop another squid on us.
Oh, I guess they're not
So
going to
then
drop
that's
into
the-
this.
Originality in that. No.
2 squids.
No, we're gonna do something new. Wait. I'm gonna show you something. And after you see it, you're gonna walk out of here and you're never gonna be afraid of big teleporting aliens ever again.
Yeah, see, but why not though?
Because I'm
Like,
gonna set you free.
I just Okay,
In
I'm
return,
just confused.
I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor.
Call it a quid pro quo.
This Angela Abar, she either killed Judd Crawford or she knows who did. Either way, she threatens to
Why does he
disrupt
think
the
she knows who
acting
killed him?
case.
Just because she does.
I know Agent Blake already suspects her, so how about you just help that along? Angela trusts
That's a
you.
good question.
Serve her up. And that way I don't have to ask these racist Okies to go to her house and kill
Why?
her and her entire fucking family. I just need to get her off the board for a couple days while I wrap
Oh,
things up.
because like whatever she's doing is gonna get in the way of this plan. That's
I
gonna
guess
be-
so, yeah.
All right. A couple of weeks after I was elected senator of the great state of Oklahoma, I was appointed to the Appropriations Committee, which sucks because I wanted something sexy.
Yeah, that also
like
makes me think of
intelligence
an
or
impeachment thing.
judiciary, but you get what you get, you don't get upset, so I accepted. And my very first day, they brought me into a little room, and they showed me what I'm about to show you. Took me a couple years to pirate a copy for myself. So Wade, you can tell your cop buddies I'm running the cavalry, and then I'll convince them all you're crazy, which will not be difficult given your secret shiny hats. Or you can press play and finally be free.
You could still say he's running the cavalry, even if you
Yep.
watch the thing, but okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's not either or. I don't think the hats make him crazy either. He had a legitimate history
Yeah,
with psychic class.
totally agree.
This reminded me of the architect scene in the Matrix.
Oh, so yeah, absolutely.
But like backwards, so instead of Neo being on the screen,
Right.
it's the architect on the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Today is January 21st, 1993.
This idea of he knew Robert Redford was going to be inaugurated is weird.
Yeah, yeah. I find that a bit strange.
And why was it important for him to record this so early in advance?
7 years in your past. How could I predict that you would be elected president with such incredible accuracy? Because I didn't predict it. I planned it. Here, in 85, the end is nigh. Nuclear holocaust between the United States and Russia is imminent. Fortunately, I planned for this too. And the only way to stave off mankind's extinction is with a weapon more powerful than any atomic bomb.
I guess that line.
That weapon is fear. And I, Mr. President.
Even said architect.
Yeah.
24 hours time. That's 7 years ago for you. An extra-dimensional monster will materialize in Manhattan, unleashing a psychic blast that kills half the city's population and traumatizes millions more. Yet the monster will not have come from another dimension at all. Will it come from me? A hoax, Mr. President?
It's weird for a hoax to be real.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I got confused about this. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I had to read the transcript and like try to understand what that meant.
Transition won't start immediately. The world will need time to heal, and of course, I'll have to maintain the peace.
Which won't be from another dimension, of course. Like, it's what?
Yeah, I think that's maybe you're right. Maybe that's actually what he means, and that's the line that needs to be added. Is the secondary events aren't coming from another world.
Yeah.
Ruin and cultivating true equality.
He was saying it that in the context, that's how everyone else will view it.
Right.
I'll do all I can and why I did all I could to get you elected. But this will only work if you willingly become my partner, Mr. President.
I don't understand why he recorded this video so early, though.
A utopia. But first, I'll need to earn your trust, and you undoubtedly have questions. If you'll indulge me for the next few hours,
Like, what's the rest of this video?
Yeah, so
Hours and hours of footage about what?
Yeah, I feel like they have room to tell us more there, because it keeps going, and we just cut out of it.
Yeah. So this whole thing made sense once he put on the suit, and I understood like what happened in the original. Now, that when he turned on the gas for the original clone, then they cut to him frozen.
Yeah.
The gas didn't freeze him. It's that
Right.
they catapulted him out
Off
but
screen, yeah.
Yes, but the suit wasn't thick enough, so he froze.
Right.
I also think it's interesting. This is basically the third scene we've seen of this Enterprise and the roll of threes. So this is the one where we'll get the end of the story and it'll work.
Yeah, and we cut right through it.
He also has the Eye of Ra on his suit, the Egyptian hieroglyph, Eye of Ra, which I didn't notice before, the sun god. So is that his emblem as Ozymandias?
Oh, that would make sense. It could be.
Yeah, I think he's got like that. But this was cool anyway.
So is this like a moon on Mars?
I think this is a moon on Mars, which tied together the idea that he's on Mars with the idea that he's on the moon.
Yeah,
So that was the clue. That was the visual clue.
Because that looks like it's supposed to be Mars. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So many clones.
So that suggests that Dr. Manhattan's involved, and that you're right about that.
Yeah.
He just clapped.
He clapped. It's clap time.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So he's just like thrown them all up here. Oh, God, this is so ridiculous.
Well, what's interesting to me is how, when did he have this plan, right? Because it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go outside of the dome and then see where I am and then have a plan. Like somehow he already knew where he was gonna end up.
Yeah.
And knew that he needed this number of clones in order to build this SOS thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this reminds me of SOS.
Yeah.
Now, I don't quite know who is supposed to see this.
Lady True, maybe. Whoever is controlling it.
Yeah, it's a good candidate. Yeah. Good point.
What was that? Save me what?
Save me! Exclamation mark? I don't know what that was.
It looked like a D. It looked like a D. Like, save me, dear.
Save me, D?
Save me. What's Lady True's first name? Darlene?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I have no idea. So we finally get to meet the warden.
Yeah, which was interesting.
Was I not clear in my letter? I warned you.
And the idea that he also wears a mask, like the cops, is interesting.
You continue to defy the laws of this land and those of us who serve it. And what do you serve, you wrinkled, piteous husk of a man? You serve only yourself.
Now, is he the clone? Like, I can't tell, but it looks like he could be.
Oh, you think he might be the clone?
It looks. It's very close.
Master Adrian Veidt? By the power
It would make sense if
as
the warden of these lands is one of the clone babies too.
May God have mercy on your soul.
God. Your gods abandoned you. Why wouldn't he? You're pathetic. Every one of you.
Alas, Master Veidt is correct. Our God has left us.
Yeah, I see our God.
And it is unlikely he'll return. No mercy it is.
And that was such a weird cut. Like, why is this
Take a
called
minute.
Mercy? Is it just for the laugh?
Soak it in before you say anything.
Yeah, it seems like it's a cut
In your own words,
joke.
what mercy smells like to you.
I feel so unsure as I take your hand and lead you to the dance floor. As the music dies,
Number 2.
something in your eyes calls to mind the
That one's got like a
silver
neck
screen. I know
flare.
it's
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the other one's not like that. Or maybe I just don't see it. It's like tucked in or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god, watch that fucking thing.
Who did justice
Ah.
found them for? Dr. Manhattan didn't exist till 1960.
This is a line that sounds very important for later.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched every episode, man. And I'm telling
Yeah, see, they're talking about the identity
Yeah.
for the justice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder if they are going to try to reveal it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what?
do you have the pills?
Is
I
anything?
love that.
Is anything true?
Just tell me.
Well, lady, true.
Better stop playing around.
Cactus?
Yep. So cactus.
Nostalgia.
He does say the real answer. He could have lied.
Well, he's entrapping her.
Oh, right, because they're
he's-
illegal.
He's trying to turn her in. Yeah, he's trying to turn her in. Because that's what the senator said, do.
But I guess, like, he could have said they were something else and said, like, who gave them to you, you know? And still, like, implicated her.
I want to help.
Well, this is the part that is bad, not the pills. It's,
Yeah.
He's getting this confession from her.
Yeah. It's just like, but he
Cactus?
gives her, like, real information, which she uses.
Speak into the cactus phone, please.
Yeah, this reminds me of the bonsai tree from Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather's. He was at the tree. He said he killed Crawford, but he's 100 years old. It's not possible.
That's a lie.
So I covered it up.
It was also weird when
I'm sorry.
she like eats a bunch of the pills,
Sorry for what?
Mm-hmm.
which like she swallows with no water.
Show me your hand.
Yeah.
Do not fucking move.
People in, like, stuff love doing the dry swallow.
It's just completely unrealistic, especially a whole half bottle of.
I know,
she's
it's like a
about to take.
lot.
Yeah. Like, come on, you didn't take any pills. And then she's done already?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
Why?
Thanks, mirror guy. All right, here we go. Last scene.
This is so Lindelof right here.
Yeah.
Like, this, like, oh, I'll throw it away. Oh,
Yep.
I won't throw it away.
I've been completely convinced by the thing that earlier said would convince me, but then on second thought, I'm not.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Some enchanted evening.
You did pay a lot for it.
Yeah.
When you find your
Yeah, I agree. You could do a resale at least.
The other thing that's Lindelof makes me think when the guys show up, it's almost like karmic punishment. Like if he would have just gotten rid of the box, they wouldn't have shown up. But the fact that he didn't get rid of it, they show
Oh.
up. It's up, you know what I mean? It's like that weird. Maybe it's like a David Lynch thing or something. It's like he didn't have the right conviction to avoid the bad fate or something.
Right. Right. I actually forgot about this. I forgot this is like the ending.
Yeah,
I just remember that he takes the security thing. I forgot.
this is also like what was it, Bram and those guys in the van, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bram and those-
Jacob's bodyguards.
Yeah, if that's who they were.
That's what they said.
That's what they claimed.
I don't know.
Yeah. Now, do you think he's dead, or do you think they're just kidnapping him?
I don't think he's dead. I mean, he might die at some point, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna
walk in there and shoot him right
No,
now.
I don't think that's gonna be the beginning of the next episode. I think they'll either take him somewhere or tell him something or something. They'll
Yeah.
take him hostage or whatever. But yeah, no, I don't think that's the end. It really seems to me like the next episode is gonna be like Angela hallucinating about the past from the pills.
She's gonna take the memories, and it'll be that.
We're
think
gonna
there's
go
some
on
lady-
this like trip. This like
I think it's
weird-
gonna be about Lady True and Vietnam. We might see like Will.
I
and
expected it to
Lady
be
True's
about like
mother.
Angela's parents and like
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the
Will and
parent-
stuff
what
like
happens
that.
to the parents. But again, I think that might go back to Vietnam and all that stuff.
Yeah,
which-
yeah,
which
yeah.
ties
Something
into-
did happen in Vietnam, and there was something with the husband too. Like he had some kind of
Yeah.
accident or something. There's some like extra thing they're gonna reveal about that. So I feel like the other thing is that's like a little bit disappointing to me, I guess, is that like this whole thing of like the senator saying, "I just need Angela to be off the board for a couple of days while I take care of my plans," because it's
Yeah.
like it's just like this is a thing. I mean, shows do this all the time, but it's just kind of frustrating. Like you just need to like be like out of the way for a while.
Mhm.
So this thing, like Dougie or something,
Yeah.
like it won't be as extreme as that, but it basically just to me means that Angela's not going to be doing anything for a couple episodes. She might be just sitting there having memories, but like she's
Well, the
gonna be
weird thing
out-
is she's
out of
not like
action.
actively It's not like she's in the middle of like taking down the cavalry, right? Like she's not actually doing a lot. I mean, I understand plot wise like that idea, but usually in that kind of plot where a character's like, I need to sideline this other character, like it's usually because they're actively thwarting their investigation. But she's got no leads, no clues. The only clue she had was the pills from Wade. You know
Well,
what I mean?
she
So-
knows that Will is involved with Lady True. I think that was the last big clue.
Yeah,
she
but there's
picked up
nothing
on.
else to talk about there. They went to investigate. The only connection there was the car flying away, and they went and like got a list of everyone who could fly a vehicle or whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
but
feel like
she
it's
knows.
not.
She knows they're collaborating because they had that exchange.
But that has nothing to do with the senator and what he's doing with the cavalry.
No, I agree. I agree. I'm just saying, like, in terms of what Angela has accomplished in figuring out what's going on in general, it's not clear. I agree that connects to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not. I just feel like the way he came off, it seemed like she was the lead investigator on taking down the cavalry. and
Yeah.
she's not.
She's not even focused on the cavalry because
Yeah.
it's clear that the cavalry
It should have
didn't kill
been
the
like
chief.
it should have been like I need Blake off the board for a while because she's the one who's there to investigate the chief's
Yeah.
murder and the cavalry.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know. It just comes across a little weird to me. But the other prediction I had was about.
I just feel like we're in for some Dougie times, and I'm just a
I
little
think
bit
it's going to
disappointed
be.
by that.
I think there's going to be a flashback related to her parents. I think there's going to be some reveal about Lady True and her mom or something, and
Mhm.
how she knows Will and how they got connected. I think there's some connections there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
that'll happen.
yeah.
But yeah, otherwise not the best episode of this season. Just kind of like okay, decent middle of the road
Yeah.
writing. Um, a couple of interesting things. But it's weird to call it a hoax though when it did happen.
I know, I know, I know. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Like if there was actually no squid and people just thought they saw a squid, like
Mhm.
that'd be one thing. Like, but I
Yeah.
assume there was an actual squid.
I think there was an actual
I
squid.
I saw a squid.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
That
the
line's
psychic
weird.
blast, like it did the squid have that power, or was it
Hmm.
because it traveled dimensions? Did it not travel
Or
dimensions?
did
Was there a
Ozymandias
machine?
unleash the
Yeah,
psychic blast
he just had a
somehow?
machine that could psychic blast a radiant,
Yeah,
and he did two and two together, and
yeah. Like
yeah.
not clear. I just think it's a bit strange. Like not to
Well,
clarify
I
what's going
guess he
on
had
there.
on that tape. There was like 2 hours. He was going to talk more to Robert Redford
Right,
about his plan,
right, right. Yeah, it
which
makes
was
me wish
super
we could see the
weird.
other part. So either A, we'll find out more, or B, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think we'll find out more
You think we'll find out more?
because I think it's going to tie into what he's doing, trying to get off the
Yeah,
moon.
you're probably right. Since he's still a character,
Yeah,
that does make me think it has potential to actually matter. I think it was weird that I agree, it's weird. Like, so I guess it's supposed to like lend credibility to what he's saying in the video if he records it, before the stuff happens, and like he's able to make these predictions and say like I'm gonna do this thing, blah
I
blah
get. Yeah, but like,
blah.
why did he have to do it so far in the past? Why
I
not
mean, like
a day before, 2 days before, a year before, 2 years
well, I think it
before?
was like a few days before the squid thing.
No, well, he recorded it 7 years before the squid thing.
No, 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 no. It can't have
That's
been
what he
that.
said.
No,
He
7 years
said,
before Redford was elected, wasn't it? All right, hold on,
"Oh, but that's even my point, though."
hold on, because
Yeah,
Redford,
you're right. I think it's 7 years before Redford was
because
elected.
I think
That
the
that might
tape
be
was
true.
made like close to when the squid thing happened.
Wait a minute. Now I'm confused. I thought. Yeah, I don't know the distance of time between when Redford was elected and when the squid thing happened, but he recorded it 7 years before one of those events.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think okay, let's see, because it says at the beginning like a time or
Quid
something,
pro quo.
doesn't it?
What? You reading the transcript?
Yeah, I'm trying, but the transcript doesn't say what the video says, so now I have to actually look at it. Okay, so he said, okay, wait. I think at the beginning it says a date. Let me see. Oh no, maybe not. Okay. So do we just have to infer? I thought it said what year it was, but maybe not. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, here it is. I'm recording this message on November 1st, 1985, which is the day before 11/2.
11/2 is when the squid thing happened.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
So
thought he said, what did he say about 7 years?
7 years from when Redford is elected.
Which was, wait.
January 21st, 1993. That's what he says at the beginning.
Okay. So, oh, wow, this is really confusing. So, recorded a day before the squid attack, which
Yeah.
was 7 years before Redford was elected.
Yeah.
So then when Redford becomes president, he'll see this video and that'll prove that he orchestrated the squid attack because he recorded a day before it happened. And
Yeah.
it'll prove he engineered his presidency because that was 7 years before it
Yeah.
happened. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason to make it in the past. However, I just want to say, I mean, whatever. Like, it's fine. It's not a big deal, but that's like, let's see, how does math work? That's how many years ago is that?
Which year are you
Help
trying to
me.
go back
Is
to?
it 30?
You talking about 93 or 85?
From the present to 85.
85 would be nine
Yeah, so
four
30,
34
34
years.
years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Jeremy Irons like does not look like he did in 1985. No offense, but
Mm-mm.
he's obviously older.
Yeah.
It's just hard to do that. Like I know they had that thing with the Irishman where like they did this like
Mm-hmm.
$100 million CGI to make like Robert De Niro look like he's 45 or something. It's just
Yeah.
like it never quite works. I don't know. I think because they had like low quality video or something, like
That
they
was
could.
part of what they tried to get away with. And
Yeah. Yeah, like he does look different from the present day scenes, but not that different for it to have been
well, and it's not
34
clear
years.
how long people can live in this world. I mean, Will is like 100, and he
True.
seems spry, and so it's not clear how old Ozymandias is supposed to even
But didn't they
be.
say something about that? I mean, did I dream that? Wasn't there some weird thing where it's like, oh yeah, Will's gonna like he's healthy and he's gonna live to be really old because like something? Am I crazy? Did they not have a line like that?
I don't remember that.
It's like, oh, Will's got like. Did I just make this up? This like something I had in my head. I don't know. I thought there was some insinuation about like why he was living longer and like more in better shape than average. Now I don't remember though, so maybe I'm just wrong. Anyway, point taken.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I definitely like Paula Malkinson. I wish her role was more interesting, but
Yeah, it's
very
kind of
middle of the road.
functional.
And I don't know what they need Wade for, other than I guess we'll find out because they're abducting him
Yeah,
at the end of the
they took
episode.
out Angela.
Oh, the other thing I thought they might need him for is they need a new person who's head of the police to work with to fill in for the old
Right.
chief. So
Right. That's a good point.
so maybe they want to recruit him to be that person.
You would think they'd be more worried about Blake than they are. It seems like they don't give a shit.
Yeah, I
don't really
agree.
understand that.
Well, it calls into question why the senator even sent her down there in the first place.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Sorry, I forgot that he was involved in that. So if he sent her, then he must view what she's doing as part of his plan. So I can only conclude that that's why he's not worried about what she's doing.
Yeah, but what does that mean though? Because like, what if she figures out what's happening? Like,
yeah, I mean, he's assuming that's not going to be a problem for some reason, but I don't know why that would work, but if he's the one who did it, I mean, who knows? Maybe that's why it all blew up. Like, oh man, why didn't I realize that you would take me down? I don't know. We'll see. But I forgot that he's actually manipulating her as well. So, so he's like got his hand in like all the plots right now, except the Lady True thing.
Yeah,
Lady True and Will are sort of this like opposing force, seemingly.
oh man, Lady True takes her mask off and she's the senator.
Oh no! You too? Too true for you.
All right. Well,
but yeah, I agree. It was okay. It was not, the greatest episode, but it wasn't terrible. Like it definitely had enjoyable moments. It was reasonably entertaining with some lulls here and there. There was some good like Lindelof-y moments. So it didn't like lose me or anything. I'm actually more concerned about where we go from here. That's my fear.
Yeah, I was trying to think if we apply the whole Lindelof reveal trick to like Judd's character, like what's the opposite of a police chief who is fighting white supremacists?
I guess, criminal who's helping white supremacists.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It
does seem like that's partially true. Though I still feel like we don't know everything there is to know. I guess that's what you're saying. We don't know the whole story about the chief. I really wanted the senator to explain the Klan robe. Yeah. But I don't even think Looking Glass even knows about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of them necessarily know about that. I think that has to go with his history, kind of like what Will said. Like, well, maybe his dad or something had it, or his granddad,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just symbolic history for him or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It could, but I still feel like they owe us an explanation.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting to get that, and I am curious. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I mean, I guess this is just like mysteries versus answers. But the more we close in on a thing, the more I'm like, I don't know if I'm really happy about where this is going. But we'll see.
Yeah. 3 more episodes.
Yeah, it's gonna be short, so at the very least, I won't have to like have this sustained sense of misery.
Yep. Well,
So
speaking of sustaining the misery,
we'll see you next time.
yeah, we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.